Hey, what's going on, my fellow collectors? Tonight I'm going to be taking a look at the Storm Collectibles Street Fighter 5 Ryu figure. Very, very cool figure. Storm's Collectibles is definitely coming out swinging, being a new company. They're putting out some really, really nice figures. And we all grew up on, or most of us grew up on Street Fighter, so it's definitely has that nostalgic feeling. And for us action figure fans, it definitely has the great action figure that we're looking for. So very, very cool. The packaging, you get this kind of like semi-open window where you see a good bit. There's like this kind of film on it that kind of blocks a lot of it, but you get this really nice picture of Ryu here, Ryu, however you want to say it. You get the Street Fighter 5 logo. You get Ryu supervised by Kiki. You got the Storm Collectible logo there. On the top you got Street Fighter. On the side you got a cool little picture. On the back you got some great poses that you can get the figure into. Have a little bit of a read up there. On the other side you pretty much get the same picture, and on the bottom you got the Street Fighter 5 logo again, along with the barcode stuff. So yeah, let's crack this thing open and check it out. Okay, so here he is all out of the packaging along with all of his accessories. Now this little background piece that you see here, it's really, really nice. This actually slides out of the box, so it gives you a little bit of a backdrop for the character if you're do picture taking or anything like that, or you just want to even use these in your diorama or your collection or your shelf to have behind the figure. It also comes with a little instruction pamphlet. So you see it has a picture of pretty much what we saw on the side of the box. And on the inside it just kind of goes over what to not do. So it says, please, be caution when rotating the head. So you don't want to get too attached. Keep its distance. Shows you how to swap in and out the face. So it shows you about the shoulder movement. Shows you about the flexibility design in the ball joint of the wrist. Different hands, and it shows you which hand you use for his Hadoken effect. So pretty cool. It shows you that. So I would say take a look over that before you go jumping into messing around with them too much. Now, as far as the figure, let me get this out of here. He does come with some really, really nice stuff. Now, first of all, you get this really cool base. I love this base, one, because it's kind of small, it looks good, and it's simple, so it's not going to take up a lot of space on the shelf. But you get this really nice Street Fighter 5 logo, and you get this arm that basically all it does is pretty much have a hinge on it. And you can hear like the nice click in that. So it has a hinge, it does have a spring-loaded clamp, and it does swivel back and forth this way, and basically it just moves up and down on this track here, and then that ports in right here to the base like so. So very cool, and it does hold the figure up well, as you can see. So that is the stand. And as far as accessories, you do get his Hadoken effect, which looks really good. It actually comes in 3 separate pieces. You have this first piece which is really nice blue colors that fade into that yellow, and the sculpt work on it is really, really nice. And then you have this piece which also comes out, so you have this kind of awesome looking front piece of it, which has a nice white, and you get this really nice kind of like translucent blue, really nice sculpt and colors all throughout that. And then you get this kind of the one that comes out of his hands, and this is done really well again. Really nice sculpt, really nice paint on there, really nice translucent colors, nice fading. Very, very cool. And there are certain hands that you use, because I don't know if you can see it. See this? Yeah, see those 3 holes right there? It's kind of a pain in the ass to do because I've already tried it, but you gotta find the right, which finger was it? Was it this one? But basically you gotta find the right hand that ports the fingers into it like so, or something like that, because now there's 3 there, so it's got to be like one of these. Maybe it's this one. But basically the fingers can slide in, and then on the bottom you have the same thing where you can kind of see two little finger holes, and that's where that ports into. But it's really a pain in the ass to get it, but it can be done, and he will hold it up. So, but that is his Hadouken effect. Like I said, it's in 3 pieces. You do get 3 different head sculpts. You get the one that is on the figure, which, you know, looks good. Doesn't, I mean, it doesn't like 100% look like Ryu from the game, but you know, you can definitely tell who it is. And then you get this face sculpt, which is like kind of like screaming, eyes open. Very cool. And then you get this face sculpt, which is, you know, more gritted teeth. But really nice paint, really nice sculpt on all of them. And as far as changing the heads off, just kind of pull down here at the chin. Or actually, you know what? Don't pull at the chin. Pull at the ears and just pull it forward. And that pops off like that. And as you can see, there's the 2 pegs, and that's what his face looks like. Put one of these other faces right on there. And voila. And the cool thing is that, you know, the eyebrows go up over, so it really makes it seamless once you get the other head on. Very, very nice. Very cool. And he does come with a bunch of hands. So of course you get the 2 fists that come on him. You have the 2 kind of wide open hands. And I believe these are the ones that you use for the Hadouken effect. And they're done really nice, and they're kind of like soft material, as you can see. So that's very cool. We don't get that too often with action figures. And you have another kind of, you know, style pose, fighting style hands. And they're done really well. Then you have these more kind of like open palm gloves. So very, very cool. And they all look really nice with the paint and the sculpt. Now, as far as looking at the Ryu figure himself, as you can see, I mean, Storm did a good job, you know. Like I said, we saw the 3 head sculpts that do come with him. But they did a really good job on his, what do you call it, it's like a gi or something like that. Really, really nice. I love how they have like this kind of like tattered look all around it. Like it's all dirty and weathered and nice, you know, shading and weathering all throughout it. Very, very cool. Very nice. I love the wrinkles. And this is all a soft material, and this can actually even come off of him completely. And the belt is done really nice. You get some really nice kind of like white, almost gray. Just give it that worn look, and you get the little Chinese writing right here. And this actually does swivel, so you can get that to kind of swivel around. And then down to his legs, which are hard plastic. It's not like the gi that has this soft. They are hard, but they continue with that same, you know, kind of color and weather look. You don't get as much as you do on the gi, which is a little bit strange. But I mean, when you get down here towards the end, you get that tattered look, and you do get a little bit of, you know, shading and all in there. So, you know, and coming down to his feet, his bare feet look pretty good. A little bit on the big and wide side. Then of course you got his, you know, arms, which just look really good. Of course, it's all beefy and buff. And that continues all throughout his chest and everything like that. And I do like the hair sculpt. The hair sculpt is done really nice on this guy. And like I said, the way they did it with the eyebrows and the interchangeable faces, it really does hide it. So each one looks really good. But it's basically just a one color. You get a tiny little bit of, I don't even know, that could just be the light messing with me, but it's basically just a black, and then you get the nice red headband. And the cool thing is the back of the headband is a soft, and that is on a, you know, little bit of a peg, so you can rotate it around. It does pop off easily, but I mean, you can rotate it around and just kind of push it back in, because as you see, it just comes out, and it's just like that right there. So, but I mean, it does stay, so that's cool. So you can get them, you know, in some decent poses using that. And as far as his articulation, once again, I mean, Storm did a really good job. Storm Collectibles did a really good job with the articulation on this guy. It is a little bit, well, not even like a learning curve, but it is different, especially for me because I haven't, this is my first Storm Collectible, so it is a little bit different. But I mean, he does have movement on his head, so you can get, full rotation. You can get up maybe about that much, get down maybe about that much. You get a little bit of side, so I mean, it's not the best range. I like it better when they kind of had that neck, joint too, so you can kind of get a little bit more. The neck is soft, but you don't really get a lot of movement within the neck. But I mean, you get decent range at the head. Now, as far as the arms, you can kind of almost see there's like that one cup that is hiding the joint. You do get the hinge here, but it's almost like a butterfly where you do get, shift forward and back. You do get kind of shift up and down. So, but it's all kind of hidden by that one cup piece there. But the hinge brings it out really far, about that much. Of course, that will rotate all the way around. Like I said, you do get forward to bring his arm kind of in front of him. You can bring that back to bring it a little bit more back. You do have a nice bicep swivel. You have a double jointed elbow, which, the sculpt's pretty much hitting into the other sculpt at just about there, just because he's such a buff figure. And for the hands, of course, they swivel and go. You get all nice movement with the hand because it goes up, down, all over the place because it's pretty much just on a ball joint. And swapping the hands out is easy. They pop off, and because they're soft, as you see, it's just like a ball with two joints on it. So you get nice range of movement with all of that. Now this part does come off, but it's easy enough to just kind of put right back on there. Find another hand, find the right hand to put on here. So the hands do come off and on really easily. So make sure I put that on the right way there. I don't know if I did or not, but anyway, now as far as the midsection, it's a little bit strange because I don't really know 100% what's going on, but I mean, there's a definite cut right here, but I mean, it doesn't really give you much. It just gives you back a little bit forward. You can get a little bit of twist out of that, but I mean, you're pretty much being hindered. Even though this is soft, it doesn't give you much range. And I can almost feel like something else going on back here, but once again, I mean, a lot of the movement comes from this part, like the lower waist, because you get nice side to side movement with that. You get forward and back. You kind of get that whole circular motion with that. His crotch piece is like a soft floating piece, but you get nice range with the legs all the way out. Kick forward about that much. Kick back about that much. It does kind of, poke, create a gap here in the front. Out to the side about that much. Double jointed knees. Look, good enough, and gives you some decent range. And then down here at the foot, you do have a hinge and a ball, but this foot was like falling off. Yeah, see how easily that falls off? So I don't know what's up with that, why that comes off so easily, but I mean, you do get front and back movement on that hinge. You get a tiny little play between, side to side on that ball, and of course that swivels all the way around, and then you do get the toe hinge. So I mean, overall it's nice. It's definitely nice. I mean, it definitely captures that likeness of Ryu in Street Fighter 5. It's a new body that we haven't seen before, and Storm Collectible has some new kind of joints, but it is cool. The poses you can get him into. We get nice accessories, get a nice stand. Now as far as his scale, he is almost like he's like a little bit over 6.5 inches. So he's a little bit taller than your, normal 112 scale, but I believe the rest of the Storm Collectible line, the rest of the Street Fighter figures, the Mortal Kombat figures, are all going to be in scale, at least with each other, so they're going to look good on the shelf next to each other. As far as some height comparisons, I don't have much really lying around here, guys, but here's a Harley Quinn, the SH Figure Arts Harley Quinn, so that shows you a little bit of size comparison with SH Figure Arts. I have a 6-inch scale Cleveland Brown who does not stand on his own. And then I got my 5-inch scale Rick and Morty figures laying here. Let me throw a Rick out here just to give you guys a little bit of height comparison as far as what he's going to look like on the shelf. And of course Rick's not going to stand for me, is he? And there's old Cleveland Brown. But yeah, guys, that's the Storm Collectibles Ryu figure from Street Fighter 5. Very, very cool figure. Like I said, he comes with a bunch of cool accessories. You know, the articulation is crazy. You can get a lot of nice articulation with them. Comes with a nice backdrop. Comes with a bunch of interchangeable hands, different face options. So, I mean, at the end of the day, cool figure. I'm definitely looking forward to picking up some of the Mortal Kombat ones. But that's the review, guys, and hope you guys have a good night, and I will see y'all on the next figure review. Take care.